A 6-year-old girl has been removed from her foster home where she lived for 4 years because she is 1/64th Native American. Now, Rusty and Summer Page of Santa Clarita, California, have long fought to gain custody of Lexi, 6, who is 1.56% Choctaw Native American. Now, that figure means that Lexi's home placement is dictated by the Indian Child Welfare Act of 1978. Now, that law seeks to keep American Indian children with American Indian families. Now, this was put in place after a large number of children were actually removed from American Indian families, either by private or public companies back in the 70s. Now, the child's birth parents struggled with substance abuse, according to court documents. Now, her father, who had a criminal history, never lived on a Choctaw reservation and didn't have any social, political, or cultural ties to the tribe, according to court documents. But officials determined that Lexi is 1/64th Choctaw based on his ancestry. Now, the Page family have fought for to keep her, right, to fully adopt her after going through foster care with her. And in 2014, they were deemed able to adopt her, but the problem was there was a family that she was extended family in Utah who was related to her through a step-grandfather who had 0% Choctaw Indian in them that wanted custody of her. A decision earlier this month actually ordered the Los Angeles County Department of Children and Family Services to place Lexi with the Utah family in accordance with the Federal Indian Child Welfare Act. Now, following this decision, the family made an online petition to keep Lexi home. 40,000 people signed it. Dozens of supporters actually surrounded the Page's house when the Department of Family Services was going to take her. And we actually have a video of that. Watch.
Stay down, guys. Stay down. Stay down, guys.
Because we thought the county was having the decency to not take her.
You guys, you have to call it. Kayla,
She's a foster child. You cannot film her. It's illegal to film her. Please stop.
She's a foster child.
I love you. I love you.
You know right now, you're violating the law. She's a foster child.
I love you, Lexi.
So that is utterly heart-wrenching, and the family is still working to get her back and to maybe attain some sort of visitation rights, but it's just a really sad story.
Now, so you can tell in the video that they're angry about it being taped, but I actually think it helps them because it shows how heartbreaking it is and gets people on their side, understandably so. In this case, I want you to both not freak out and freak out at the same time. So here's what I mean by that. The reason the law was passed in the first place, it's not because of political correctness or some like big government wants to do this, that, and other thing. No, it was a real problem that they had back then, right? And it was to address that problem. So it is, and then it wasn't like the government just up and decided, hey, she's 1/64th Indian Native American, so I'm going to go get her. And I'm just going to make up this problem. No, somebody wanted custody of her. So they were forced to look at the law and abide by the law. So I don't think anybody came at this from like, yeah, we're going to take their kid away. Except for the people who asked for the custody. That's a whole separate issue.
Okay, but it's not just somebody though. It's extended family who realized in 2011, all the way back in 2011 when Lexi was up for adoption with this new foster family, immediately came out and said, as soon as they were aware, that they were interested in adopting her. So in this instance, and then the court proceedings went on for years, all the way up to 2014, when the California courts ruled against the extended family and said that they could continue to appeal this decision, but we are going to keep Lexi with her original foster parents. Now,
so that's a great point that the extended family are not bad guys either. They wanted to take care of their family member, and the case took so long.
And I understand that, and I think the foster care system is something that's really complicated, right? So there are definitely a lot of problems with it, but it also can be a great way for kids to have a home that they can be more safe and more stable in. Now, in Lexi's particular case, she actually went through 2 foster homes prior to the Page family, and the second one they actually took her out of because she had a bruised eye and scratches on her face. So obviously a really, really unstable childhood. So I think that should definitely come into play into this decision, because now she had, for the first 2 years of her life, potentially something that was abusive, leaving her birth parents and then going into a family that was potentially abusive, which we can only kind of assume from the black eye. And then to live the next 4 years of her life and be attached to this family, I think those things should come into place, because this is going to be more traumatizing than living with a family who's not your extended family through a step-grandfather.
But no matter what, I don't think the case should be decided based on the Indian Child Welfare
That's
Act of
yes,
1978.
of course,
Yes.
agreed completely.
And so that's the part where I do want you to freak out. Like, you don't have to get mad at any one actor in this situation, but it is okay to do a petition so that, for example, if that law doesn't make sense anymore, then we should repeal it. And that's how democracy works. So it made sense back then, it doesn't now. Let's go ahead and address that to make sure it's not on the books anymore, so that situations like this don't happen. Because no matter where you think the kid should go, I don't think anyone reasonably believes that it should be decided by this law because she's 1/64th Choctaw.